Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the CEO and co-founder of Apptentive, Robi Ganguly.
Welcome. Thanks for coming to our office. This is the first formal event we've ever had here. I don't think we expected to have 200 of you, but that's pretty awesome. Thank you for coming out. We had a really unique opportunity we wanted to take advantage of. So we are going to be joined by Veresh from Alaska Airlines. Now, Veresh is the new CIO at Alaska Airlines. So I wanted to start off by asking you a question that I don't know the answer to, and it confuses me and probably confuses a lot of people here. You're the CIO. What is a CIO? What does that actually mean? What do you think your job is? What's that stand for, and how does that help Alaska be better?
I've been in this role as a CIO for a while now. I'm still trying to figure it out. The day in the life of a CIO starts with the CEO saying, "My mouse doesn't work. Can you help me fix that?" To going into a meeting and no one can get their laptop to connect to the projector, and they all look at you because they think you have some magical answer to how to make a laptop work on a projector. But no, it starts with really thinking about the entire customer experience and the customer journey, and looking at how can we bring technology solutions to unlock business problems. We live in a world today where business strategy and technology strategy are inextricably linked. And the modern day CIO is really partnering with the rest of the executive team to determine what technology solutions can we bring to the table to really drive the business forward. And previous terms were used like, how do we enable the business? I don't think we're enabling the business anymore. I think we're driving the business, right? We're finding fundamentally different ways to do business. That's where I spend my time, between fixing mice, getting projectors connected, and figuring out strategy.
I'm going to guess one of those takes more time than the others, hopefully. So digging into that, is Alaska Airlines, would you say that they're a company that uses technology, or that they're a technology company that is going out and actually helping customers? Because we've been hearing from more and more of our customers who are starting to say, we used to think of it as a tool, but really we are, at our core, we're building software and all these different experiences. We're a technology company that's using it to deliver what we have as a brand value proposition, but we're a technology company. How do you think about it there?
Yeah, the answer is both, right? And I could argue on each side of the pendulum. We're a user of technology, right? Let's not forget, we're in an airline industry, and our focus is to be the easiest airline to fly, delivering the best customer experience. And we want to use technology to do that. To be able to use technology to do that, the technologists in our company need to operate like we're a technology company, right? So I think we're a technology company within an airline, is how I think about it.
That makes sense. So then let's take it another step. So delivering the best customer experience. How do you manage to actually calculate if you're delivering a good or great customer experience, and then get to that level where you actually know you're doing the best? Is that part of the mandate of the CIO's office and the technology organization? Is that measured differently?
Yeah, I mean, the ultimate measure is customer satisfaction, right? And we have a fantastic process called Alaska Listens, and we get to hear what customers are telling us. We have a declaration that by 2017, we want to be the easiest airline to fly on the planet, right? And there's just no way to get to that level of performance without technology being a key backbone to that. And so, no doubt, my team wakes up every morning thinking about what are things that we can do to enable us to be the easiest airline to fly.
How does mobile play into that?
Yeah, it's, everyone's talking about how mobile is the future. I'm here to tell you guys mobile's not the future. Mobile's the now, right? And, it's an interesting conundrum. In a few weeks' time, I'm on stage with Satya Nadella from Microsoft, and his entire keynote is around mobile first. And I'm going to be nudging him and saying, yeah, I think it's mobile only. And not mobile first. So mobile is a core component to our strategy. We think about it in two contexts. One is internally, so our internal employees. flight attendants, customer service agents, ramp agents, that entire process, and how do we enable them to be fully mobile and delivering an amazing customer experience and having everything at their fingertips. You know, it's the analogy of when you go to an airport right now, you go to a counter, you go to a podium, you go to a monument, right? That's just so 19th century, right? We want to get rid of that. We were the first airline on the planet to put kiosks into the airport. We want to be the first airline to take kiosks out of the airport, right? So really transforming the journey for our internal employees. From a customer perspective, it's all about hassle-free. Today we get, firstly, we have the only 5-star mobile app from any other airline on the planet, and which tells me that I have the best mobile team from anyone on the planet. And for those of you that are, and for those of you that have red badges on, you want to work at Alaska. And for those of you that have blue badges on, you want to have red badges. But when we think about that 5-star mobile app that we have and what that means, we think that has the power to disrupt the entire airline industry. From the time of thinking about booking a ticket, to booking the ticket, to getting to the airport, checking your bag, getting to TSA, boarding the flight, having an amazing in-flight experience, and getting to the other side. And we think that entire journey will be turned on its head through mobile.
So do you think about how much of the customer experience today for an Alaska average customer is going through mobile? Do you measure what percentage of booking activity or checking information is? How do you think about how mobile is overtaking or supplanting some of the things you've done in the past?
Yeah, I mean, we are a metric-driven organization, so we do measure it. Not as much as we'd like, and we're getting better about it every day. But simple stats just from our internal employee base. Within the next 3 months, company-issued mobile devices will outstrip the number of company-issued desktop devices by more than 25%, right? Which tells you we're a mobile workforce. We have 13,000 employees and more than 10,000 vendors that work within our environment, right? So internally, we're going to be fundamentally mobile only. As we think about our customers, right now, and my guys at the back will slap me for getting the numbers wrong, but we have about 16% of our passengers doing mobile check-in, right, on a mobile device. And it is our internal goals that if we can get that from 16% to 40%, we fundamentally change and disrupt the airline operations at the airport. At 60%, we think we transform the whole industry, right? It's game-changing. So we are tracking those metrics with deliberate goals for where we want to get it to.
So what I hear when you say that is that when you think of Alaska and you think of what you're doing with mobile, you also think about the leverage you can get to change the standards for just airlines in general. You have leverage in order to change that. Is there a way that the engineers on the team and then the product managers can actually view internally the progress against that, or think about what's changing in the business that way?
Yeah, I mean, look, we're not too focused on what our competition's doing. We're really thinking about what we're doing and setting a new benchmark and a new standard for that customer journey and that customer experience. In many ways, I think about us as an 82-year-old, $8 billion startup company, right? And the cool thing about that is we're 82 years old, which means we have a lot of culture and a culture of caring, and we have deep history. We're an $8 billion company, which means we have money. And we're a startup company, right? Our best years are ahead of us, so we behave like a challenger brand. We innovative, we modern, we agile, we get to disrupt and do things every day. And so the mentality that our technology teams have is that of a challenger brand. When we wake up every morning, how are we disrupting this industry and delivering the best customer experience possible?
So I love that you guys are here in Seattle, that you're looking for people here, that you're building continually organizational excellence around the customer experience. Do you find in Seattle that talent is different from other places?
This is an interesting question. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I think, we proudly Seattle. We are your hometown airline. We thank you guys for flying us. We will always be your hometown airline. But we're not naive to the fact that we live in a global ecosystem, right? And in Seattle, we're in a war for talent. There just isn't as many of you guys as we'd love to have. I mean, all of you guys can come and work for us if you'd like to. But there are fundamental mind shift, right, in terms of culture and the way people think in different parts of the world. Intrinsically, people in Seattle wake up in the morning thinking about how can we make a difference in the world? How can we make the world a better place to be? There are other parts in the world, in the United States, south of here, where a startup company
Silicon Valley,
where a startup company starts up by thinking about what their exit strategy is going to be, right? How do I make tons of money? Who am I going to sell to? Is Google buying me? Is Yahoo buying me? Who's going to buy me? Whereas a Seattle-based startup company thinks about how am I going to make a difference in the world. So I think there are some of those differences. There are certainly skill set differences around the world. Different parts of the world, developing countries, the way they're going about solving problems. The U.S. invents a lot of stuff. The rest of the world innovates better than we can. So starting to think about that talent pool and how we get better at leveraging it is something we're looking at.
So I know you're all standing. It's been about 10 minutes or so. So I'm gonna leave you with one last question. So all these people out here are hearing about how the airline industry is being changed from within Alaska, specifically within mobile. If you're a mobile developer right now and you wanted to apply to Alaska, what do you have to have in order to make the Alaska team?
I have this down to a science. You need to have what I describe as a creepy culture. And I spent some time a few years ago thinking about what's the type of person we want to hire, and we ended up forming this acronym, and we didn't set out to create an acronym, but it did. And the acronym, it came up with this creepy. We need people that are creative, right? So really thinking about things differently and approaching things differently. If you do what you always did, you'll get what you always got, and that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for fundamentally creative people to do things differently. We're looking for people that are results-oriented, right? At the end of the day, we're hiring you to get shit done. And so somebody who prides themselves with getting stuff done. The E is for excellence, and excellence in everything you do. You take pride in the work that you do, and you value a high-quality output, but also excellence from a service and a service excellence perspective. The A is for articulate. You're able to articulate and inspire trust, credibility, and confidence within 30 seconds of talking to anyone. The P is for passion. You need to wake up in the morning with a fire in your belly to want to do something. And the Y is for yes, you can.
I love that. Be creepy, people. So I think we have one last thing. Is there? Oh, you have it over here. So I appreciate that everybody here went through the great beer drought of 2015. I apologize for having our CO2 fail, but we got it back running. You're probably sticking around because Alaska Airlines has been so generous to actually have a raffle. One of you is going to get 2 round-trip tickets to anywhere Alaska flies based upon what he picks right now.
6979. So you have a mobile device?
Huh?
You have a mobile device?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we just NFC bump you the tickets and we're done.
Hang on, let me turn my NFC mode.
It's okay, you're too slow.
All right.
Thank you. Enjoy your flight. Tell us about it.
I love Alaska.
Thank you.
My first flight to Seattle was Alaska.
All right, that's all the talking we are going to do up here. Really, thank you so much for coming and spending a few minutes with us. And thank you to Alaska for co-sponsoring this. This is amazing. Thank you, everybody, for showing up.